Can yours do all these cool features that
Like
mine
what?
does? Like heart rate, EKG.
Actually, it has
Tell you the weather.
It has a tachometer, which is you can
Can you
measure.
talk to it? Can you make phone calls?
Yeah, I can talk to it. I love you so much. You're awesome. Yeah, I can talk to it. Anyway, this is only watch 2 of 3 that I bought this month. I'm out of
BLP is
control.
doing
you
well,
done?
huh?
I'm out of
Are
control.
you done? Or are you gonna keep buying more?
I'm done for now.
You heard it,
And the third watch I only purchased because that I think I told you guys in the chat like I got a booking that I wasn't expecting to get.
So
That's a good way to celebrate. Oh my god!
Do we all do that when we're like?
It's like I wasn't gonna get that.
We
booking
plan our purchases around like, all right, the next
Streaks.
booking, then I'll buy it.
next, how many bookings?
It's
Then I'll buy
streaks. It's more of a streak. So we go on like a 3 to 6 booking streak. We'll treat ourselves sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're in the middle-ish of one right now, so
Yeah, go treat yourself.
Oh,
if
man.
we book cross keys,
Oh,
we'll
really?
see
All
if
right.
I get my Bad Bunny tickets. Right now, I'm holding off.
I was watching the other watch for like a whole week. So why did I wait a week? Because I didn't have the booking yet.
Yeah, he probably wasn't going to get it
Until I got money.
when he got the bookings.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a responsive way of doing things.
But
Yeah.
not 3 watches.
Well, I have different outfits that these watches go
You
with.
don't have
Oh, my
outfits
God.
to match
I was
those
about to say, you
watches.
are not the fashionista of the
Yeah.
group. Well, I'm very confused.
You do not have outfits
I got
go with
one
it.
with my white t-shirt, and one with my blue t-shirt, and then one with my
You know what
red
I do?
t-shirt.
What I do is
Very
change the
confused.
band on my Apple Watch.
Yeah, I'm like,
I will say you are very nicely dressed today.
Oh, thank you. I had to
I guess are the
I had to
watches.
dress up for the watch.
I was saying, the watches inspiring you today.
That's why he rolled up the sleeves. And you can see
So you
him,
guys can
man.
see my watch. What time is it? Yeah.
He got his steakhouse shorts, summer shorts.
Hey man, sun's out, buns out. All right, sun's out, buns out.
It was pretty nice today.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for noticing.
And
Okay,
some
Ben.
nice New Balance. This is a whole new Ben now. that
These
I'm
are my
seeing.
my dad shoes. It's so funny. So I was
Those are nice though.
Yeah,
shooting-
really nice.
these are not your dad's shoes. These are shoes that I got you.
That makes more sense.
Yeah,
but they're white and gray with New
we have
Balance. on.
They're
matching
really
ones.
nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, I like those.
These are very
I
hard.
call these like the octopus
No, this
sneakers.
model was it's like sold out.
They're expensive.
Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
How expensive?
I
Not like
I have
my
a few
shoes
pairs. I have a few
expensive,
pairs of
but,
New
yeah.
Balance, and
so
they're not cheap.
I was telling my bride yesterday. I was like, all right, I'm here by the fountain. I'm wearing hoodie, tan jacket, dad shorts, or dad jeans.
This new watch. You can-
Look for the watch, guys. Look for the watch.
and my dad shoes. I'm wearing dad shoes. She was cracking up. It was pretty funny. But
Those
yeah.
are not dad shoes.
Yeah.
But
Dad shoes are
you know
the
what it
white
is?
ones.
The thing is, every time I look at the watch, I'm so happy. As happy as I am when I look at my kids
It's like
and my wife.
non-stop bothering
Oh,
us
man.
about the
I
watch.
was like, this makes me happy.
That's on the same tier of happiness.
We're
I was like,
we're
makes me
lower
smile.
than we're
When
lower
I
than
look at
the
the
watch.
When I look at them, I was like, this is.
He doesn't look at us like he doesn't even look at us.
The same way.
I look at Ellie that way. It's like, oh, this makes me so happy. But I'm done. I'm done. I have to be a responsible adult. I have to be a responsible adult.
All right, let's put this on record, guys, for how
Yep.
far into the future it takes for Ben to buy the new one. Because I feel like by next week he'll be like,
no. I'm good. I'm good. I want to stay married, so I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. The next watch that I get, it's gonna be far into the future. Like I have one on my radar. It's called
expensive, huh?
This is a moon watch by Omega. And this is the same watch that they wore to the moon. I don't know how many years ago, but anyway.
As photographer shooting groom prep, I see a lot of Omega watches
Mhm.
At weddings for prep.
Now I'm definitely
very
paying more
popular.
attention. Now I'm paying more attention to, like, hey, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? I'm just curious. There's a look, right?
Look what I'm wearing.
Well,
say
I mean,
mine.
comparatively speaking, my watch is not that as expensive as theirs, But this is like, these watches are the nicest watches I've bought for myself. Did I tell you guys how this all started? This is
No.
a good story. So a couple months ago, about a month ago, I started watching these YouTube videos as one normally does. And there's only 2 kind of videos that I watch. One of those kind of videos is the dodo videos where you had like these little poor animals.
Dodo, I always watch. Yep.
They
But
get-
that's on my Facebook feed.
And they get rescued.
Oh,
They get rescued, and
so
there's
sad.
there's a happy ending, right? So I love those videos. And then the other ones are restoration videos. And then there was this one video where this guy found an Omega watch at the bottom of the river, right? It was all destroyed and everything. So he fixed it. He made it nice and bright, shiny and brand new. I was like, I can do that. So I had an old watch in my nightstand that was all scuffed up. It was old. It was the first watch that I bought myself, when I got my first real job out of college. And it was my daily wearer for, I don't know, about 10 years or so. It got scuffed up, all scratched up. I was like, I stopped wearing it because it got so ugly, right? I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can restore this. So I bought all these tools.
Mornings and nights spent
Oh my
filing
god.
it.
I'm like polishing it.
And the magnifying glass.
I'm like, what
Like a
are you
jeweler?
doing?
I will show you this watch next time you guys come over. It looks brand new. I
Oh
was so
my
happy.
gosh.
I was like, this is
He
pretty
bought
nice. But
all the accessory there
You
is
could have
to
dropped it
file
off.
a watch.
You could have dropped it off at a jeweler, and they would have did the same thing for
Yep.
like $50, $100.
$100, but I bought about $100 in tools to do
You
it myself.
men just like to learn how to do things. I don't know what
So
it
listen,
is.
if I have to do it again, and now I know how to do it, and I save myself some money,
Oh.
right? So anyway, so I was like, this is an okay watch, but I think I can do better. So that's when I went watch hunting. I was like, this watch is like 20 years old. I think it's time to level up a little bit. So
So all that work and you're not even wearing the watch that you
Yeah, I don't think you'll
salvaged.
ever wear it.
I wear it in the mornings.
in the morning.
What?
So you're on the level of alternating watches per day.
It's what do you call it? It's one of those watches where you have to shake to make it to recharge your battery.
So it was like dead, so he couldn't get it to charge after he did all that work, right? Filed it, made it pretty, and it wasn't charging. And then does it work now?
Yeah, it works. Oh, by the way,
And he had to get a separate charging station just for this watch. It looks like a whole case too, a whole single case.
it has to simulate
It
the
sits
arm
on
moving.
it. Yep, and then
What?
you plug it in and it rotates. I'm like, what the
It's-
fuck is this?
It's a charger from like 20 years ago. Before the Apple iWatch, this is how you charge watches back in the day, right? So you put the watch in a thing and it rotates, right? Just to move the watch around to simulate your hand moving, and it charges the watch.
Like,
It's $30, whatever.
But I mean, why do you need to
$30.
charge it if you're gonna have it on anyway? It's gonna charge.
Oh, yeah. But I wasn't gonna wear it every day because I got 3 other watches I got to
Yeah.
wear.
No, but what I'm saying is that as soon as you put it on, it's gonna start working. No,
no, I think it takes a while.
It takes a while to charge. You have to wear it for 3 days for it to be fully charged.
Yeah. Because
And
he hasn't
I
worn
haven't
it.
worn it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you wear it every day, I think it lasts for about 6 months in the drawer. If you wear it every day, it can last 6 months in a drawer, sleep mode. So it's pretty advanced. I thought it was pretty cool. But anyway, that's enough about my watches, right?
Yes.
yeah, that's
Like-
enough.
I think we're good. I think you spoke about it on your live. You spoke about it today.
Non-stop. He's like
Uh,
showing the kids, hey, do you like it?
This will be yours one day. You can
Don't
have-
care.
The kids are like,
Cool. Actually, the kids like this one. This is their favorite too.
Oh.
is that your
Told
favorite?
Aiden, you got 3 watches. And
Is-
he's like, what the heck is wrong with
Is
him?
that your favorite one, too?
At the moment, yes, it is.
He's only
It's
been
the most
admiring
pretty
it
one.
for the
I told
past.
him to get the gold. When he got the other one, I told him to get a gold or rose accent, right? But
Yeah,
he's
it's
like,
nice.
no, it's
It
not.
goes
as-
with anything.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not as cool. And then
What? It's a damn watch.
Now it makes you look cool, man.
Yeah, it's my steak pants.
Steakhouse watch.
Steakhouse watch. Steakhouse.
Steakhouse
shorts.
shorts.
Yeah, that's right.
About to go to Strickland's.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Strickland's after this podcast.
I think if there's anything at all, I think there is something to be said about my thought process as I was going through, buying all these watches and stuff. Because the process that I went through buying these watches has got to be very similar to, how people go through hiring wedding photographers and hiring wedding. What? Why is that funny?
you're comparing us to watches now?
Yeah, like.
What was
it's
your
a
thought
it's a luxury-
process between picking watches?
Like I had to look at all the different kinds of styles that were out there in the universe. There were definitely some that were definitely my style, and then some that were not.
Uh-huh.
Right. And then I had to look at budget. Budget was a key factor. Listen,
Of course.
like for instance, you have watches out there that are like $200,000, dude.
More.
Mhm.
They have
Yeah,
more
of
than
course.
that.
$200,000. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't afford 200,000. Like, listen, I can see the value.
I told you I'm sick. I said yesterday track meet.
Single mom.
All right, so listen.
It's my life.
So, like, it doesn't matter if I know that, it's made of diamonds and all this gold and all this craftsmanship and stuff, all the work that goes into creating this $200,000 watch. I can't afford $200,000 watch.
Yeah.
That budget's real. All right?
Mhm.
And then even for you to get into that high end of watches, right? $8,000, $10,000, right? Now you're in the, the Rolex
That's
and Omegas.
more of an heirloom, like something that
Yep.
you pass down.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing with wedding photography, right? It's an heirloom. So can I swing 10,000? I mean, I wouldn't be married after I made that purchase, right? But like, could I swing it? I have to scrounge it together, but I can make that work. But the thing is it that important to me that I spend 10 grand on a watch? I got all these other things that are more important,
Yeah.
like my kids' tuition.
Yeah.
car
But that comes down
payments.
to value too, because some
Yeah.
people value
Yep.
it so much they will be like
Yeah, I
they'll
want that watch.
scrounge for that $10,000.
So-
yeah.
When you said there was a budget, right? So did you stick to the budget?
No, the first watch, no. So the second and third watches, yes, right? So the first watch that I got, I think I doubled the budget. Not intentionally. I think it was because my wife was with me. I was originally going to stick to my budget. I was like, I think I'm going to get this one. I came into the store to get this one. She's like,
Yeah,
I think
that's when I didn't know you were gonna buy 2 more, 3 more. Who knows how many?
Oh,
more
so she
watches?
was like, get something that's worth
Yeah,
more.
Something
get
nice,
a
something
better,
nice.
better one. If you like it, get paid a little more and just get a nicer one. That's just my theory in life, right?
Yeah.
Instead of getting 10 of little cheap stuff.
Mhm.
this is not
Just-
cheap.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm saying
At the
get,
time.
yeah, get a bigger, better value one.
Yeah.
But and it's accessory watches. You want it nicer, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah,
I got a nicer watch.
So
The
at
other
the
one was
time,
nicer.
she thought it was
But
just one.
It's also different purposes, right? Because like you could buy your everyday watch, you don't want to spend too much on it because it's gonna get beat up.
Right.
It's gonna get used more often.
Mhm.
So you're not gonna invest
right,
that money into it.
right.
So you only need like 1 or 2.
Right.
Yeah.
But in any case, I went in there with a budget, right? And Karen sold the value of, hey, listen, you're going to be
I didn't
wearing.
see the value, but I said if you're gonna get it, just get it. Right?
Just spend the money, right? Like, if you get a nice watch, make it nice, okay? Spend good money
Just
on
get
it.
it.
So, like, I think that we can approach wedding photography in the same way when we sell it. Hey, listen, if you're going to do it right, just spend the money on it and just get it done right,
Sort of. Because if you put it that way, right? The first watch was the photographer, right? But then, but then you added a second photographer. You added a third photographer.
He had it like content creator.
Yeah, the lowest
I
watch
need one
is
of
the
those
content
too.
creator.
I think I need one of those too. Right? Once you start spending, you can't stop, right? But yeah, I think the second, third one's like, oh, I didn't realize maybe I needed this too, so maybe I'll get that too. But
Well, stop looking. You're like looking at watches nonstop.
Well, you know what? There's a photo booth. I'll take the photo booth.
What else do you got?
but the thing was, like, I wasn't, 2 weeks. I was a little reckless, but I had a couple bookings to support it, so it was okay, right? But I'm done.
Okay.
But how does it relate to
Your legs are so big.
I've been wearing pants.
We're coming out of winter.
Those are his winter legs. they like
butter legs.
they looks like prosthetic legs.
They do look white as hell on the screen.
That's never gonna be a clip that we post.
That stays for sure.
They got the
And then
prosthetic.
we'll zoom in on your
It's been the
legs.
guy that when it's like 60 degrees already shorts are out. Is that you?
I am. Yeah.
He's in shorts.
I'm always in
like,
shorts
yeah.
year round. I mean, shorts year round.
Yep.
But then you have other shoppers, other type of clients who are like, it's within the budget. It's fine. It's an easy purchase, right?
Yeah.
These watches number 2 and 3, they were within my budget. I knew I was going to get it. It was an easy purchase. I didn't need hem and haw, right? I didn't need any kind of convincing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's something we could talk about today as far as like people's purchasing habits. Like,
Yeah.
when do you actually need to put on your salesperson hat and try to sell them?
Mhm.
And how do you identify people who are ready to buy?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, figuring out, maybe what their budget is, what they're looking for, what their pain points are, and just putting those options in front of them.
Mhm.
Because I think sometimes we as business owners, we overcomplicate the process by introducing variables that have nothing to do with the client's needs,
Or what they're looking for.
and that's how you lose the sale sometimes.
Mhm.
But anyway, you guys ready to start this podcast?
I think
Officially,
we're
yeah.
ready. Yeah.
We're ready.
Gosh.
And we're looking for watch sponsors. So if you're a watch company out
Which
there,
watch did you buy?
Which watch?
Oh
I
my
want a
God.
Citizen.
we could be over here talking like this. You know?
Hey guys, welcome to the Focus AF podcast. My name is Ben,
Jen.
And this is Ro.
and we are not Focus AF. Not
No,
today.
No.
first time back with cocktails.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
been a while.
I've been sick for the last 5 months, and I think this is the first recording that we've had
In a long time.
in a long time where I'm in perfect health.
Yeah, no coughing.
Congratulations.
I survived.
You have survived.
That was
You,
annoying,
you
wasn't it?
live, you live.
Oh my
But
god.
guess what? Because God has a sense of humor, the universe has a sense of humor. Karen Slough is sick now. She's been sick for the last
The
2-3
whole
weeks.
house is not 2-3 weeks.
It
Like
feels like
this is
it feels
the
like an eternity.
no, it's like 10 week. 10 not 10 weeks, 10 days.
10 weeks is a long time.
10 days. Maybe like less than 10 days. Yep. Since last week.
Yeah, the
Cold, flu.
We got the flu. So Grayson's class, like whole 6th grade,
wiped out.
got strep, flu, COVID.
Damn.
So like literally
Was nobody in
half-
school?
Nobody in school.
Yeah, so 6th grade, like that whole like week, everyone was out literally.
Oh my
That's
god.
funny.
So mom started a chat. They're like, "Is anyone's kid sick?" One mom started, and the whole thread.
Oh my god.
Yep, same symptoms: fever, fatigue, like no
Wow.
eating, and then eventually got tested strep and flu. Like,
But because they were all on like spring break the week before, no?
yep, and then
So they all
the
came back and
moment
just-
they came back, everyone got it. Yep, we're like, "Oh my god, not!" It's
Get
like
sick on
never
the planes,
ending.
man.
Yeah.
Like a petri dish. But those international.
But strep is like super contagious. So yep.
Well, I didn't get it.
I didn't.
By some miracle.
Thankfully, Grayson did not get strep, but he had flu. Yep.
The whole house,
So
the whole
I got
house
it.
got sick.
So
except
I
for me.
got it, and then
I'm
Aiden
walking
got
around
it.
like, you know.
That's because you've been sick
Yeah.
since
Yeah,
October.
yeah.
So
You're immune now.
Ben had flu,
I got all the
strep,
dirt.
he had everything.
he has every single antibody.
Yes, right now.
Every,
Yep.
every cold,
Yep.
every cough.
It was pretty funny too.
He had COVID, so yeah, he's there. He's good.
I'm just chilling in the house. Everyone's dying around me. That wasn't fun. But yeah. So anyway, I'm making cocktails today. Today's drink is the
good.
Apricot Sour.
I feel like you made this before, right?
No. This is just...
It tastes similar to a drink
This
you
is
made.
a sour. Just, I mean, most sours
I mean, most
taste the
sours
same.
taste the same.
Same,
like
yeah.
Midori
most
sour.
sours.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
I've
all
soured
taste
before.
the same. But this is an apricot sour. I originally was going to do something a little fancier, but only 3 of us are drinking today.
Is there a reason mine's is foamy and the two of you guys are
I
not
shook
foamy?
yours a little more.
With love.
That's
you
right.
made it with love.
Yeah. I shook it with a
Oh,
little
look
bit
at
more
that.
love.
There's no foam there.
He drugged you.
Yeah, I definitely roofied you, right? Show you my watch collection.
Oh Lord.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so today's our first day back with cocktails. We were supposed to have a guest today, but we had to reschedule. But we're all good. Well, we're just gonna hang out and chill and do what we normally do, what the Laos and Melinas do when we get together. Just talk about nothing and everything.
That's right. We're ready.
Yeah.
We're ready.
Well, so what were we supposed to talk about today? There were a couple of things on the.
Shopping, buyer habits, whatever you just did in the intro.
Yeah, I guess we'll
But that's what we
carry
talk
on.
about all the time. But you guys recently traveled.
We did.
Yeah, you guys just got back from El Salvador,
That's right.
the
Yep.
motherland.
Motherland.
Well, your motherland.
Rose Motherland.
Yes.
Yeah, we went with my mom. We took her after her retirement party, and she tagged along with us everywhere. Like we
That's got to be fun.
it was so like this was like the first time I've been
Except she's a talker.
yeah, this is the first time I've been on vacation with
Talker.
my mom since I was probably a teenager, maybe.
Oh.
So I told her like, hey, me and Jen are gonna do this. Do you want to
Yeah, yeah,
stay
yeah.
with my cousin? Because when she goes to El Salvador, she stays with my cousin in her house. So she was like, no, I'll go with you guys. I want to go and see everything because I've never really gone out.
Explore.
Yeah.
Right?
Your mom?
Yeah.
And she had a blast. She was eating like
All the
some of the
pupusas.
best. Yeah, like
So
she
many.
was drinking, like she was walking, like she there was some areas that we were driving by the coast, and that's where she grew up. So there was like some areas where she was like, oh my God, I haven't been here in 60 something years.
Oh my god.
So she was like, I remember walking down this street here when I was a kid.
Aw.
So like it was like a whole going down memory lane for
Yeah.
her. It was cool. It was a cool experience. Like she doesn't really bother. It's just like she's like the older my mom is getting, I feel like she's like a big kid now. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
so like she's like always talking and is like all these random things, and she just says what's in her head. And sometimes we feel like she shouldn't say all these things, but overall it was fun to see some of my relatives who I haven't seen in a while, and then
Mhm.
seeing my mom also happy, which is awesome because now she has all the time in the world to
Yeah.
do whatever she
Yeah.
wants. So in the last 5 years, there's been a lot of changes in El Salvador, and tourism is skyrocketing over there.
Mhm.
So a lot of surfing beaches, a lot of resorts. So we were like all over the place, like just seeing everything. And we do want to go back to see the other side of the country. So it was
Mhm.
cool. We had fun.
That's cool.
That's cool. You guys did a lot of hiking and
Salvador.
sightseeing and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hiked up to see a volcano, which is pretty awesome. It was not what I expected as far as the hike. I thought the hike was going to be easier, but it was a pain in the
No,
ass.
I don't
Yeah.
think there's
Volcano.
such thing as an easy
Yeah.
hike.
Yeah. Like it was crazy because the day before I started watching YouTube videos of other people that have hiked it, and I was having second thoughts. I was like, maybe this is not for me.
Listen, you and I, we hiked in the desert, right? And it was flat, and you were complaining.
This like that hike, I would say is about like 10 times more harder than that what we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just going up the whole time.
Right.
And then-
Yeah.
my God.
And it's
and then-
hot too.
Oh yeah, like
Yep.
it was a beautiful day, and half of it is like nice terrain where it's dirt, but you're ascending.
Yeah.
Then the second half is just like big stones. So you're walking, and if you step on the wrong stone, it's gonna move. So you have to be careful where you're walking, and we only bought one water bottle, so we were like conserving the water bottle.
We're gonna die.
And you can't go up to the volcano like by yourself. You have to hire a guide.
Like a porter.
Yeah, they're hired by like I guess the state. So you know you have to pay them, and they go up with you. This young kid didn't break a sweat. He
Yeah.
he didn't drink water going up.
Yeah.
Like he was
That's
just
what
like
they do, man.
yeah.
How long was the hike to the top? How long
It
did it
was
take you?
about an hour and a
A
half. Yeah, one way. Yeah.
Hey, we hiked up the mountain in China too, right? Remember that?
Yeah,
How long
yeah.
did it take for us to get to the top?
Longer, I think. Your dad was with us.
He almost,
He
my dad
almost
almost died.
died, yep.
It was about like
Yeah.
5.5 miles
Yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah, straight up. We had a porter too, but this
Yeah.
porter was not a kid. He was like, he had to be like
This was
7 years old.
Yeah, this was like this was like unpaved, like trees everywhere, like a wild mountain.
We didn't
with,
know
like,
there
rocks.
was no
Yep.
path. He was just going
No
through the
path
woods.
at all. Yep.
And he
And,
you
and
know,
he
had
was
this-
carrying,
the
those
stick
old
with
like
the
stick with
baskets
like
on each side.
He had those full of like food and like,
all our shit.
and then
That,
he was
that's
wearing
why
just
they
like
live so long.
weird shoes, and then like he was just jumping and climbing the mountain. We're like,
Meanwhile, we carrying nothing. And
we're
we're
dying.
right?
Yep.
And it was hot and humid. Probably very
Yep.
similar experience. for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was crazy because like there's this young guy who climbs the volcano every day, and he sells popsicles at the top.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Popsicles. Like he
So
has
he
like
brings,
this it's a 50-pound like thermal box
Yeah, yeah.
that keeps everything cold, and he hikes up every day and sells popsicles up there.
Wow.
And everybody buys
Of
a
course.
popsicle.
Of
Yeah.
course.
And it was like I bought a coconut one. It was like it tasted like the best thing I ever had in the world.
Give me 5.
And you know,
The whole box.
yeah, like
Yeah.
he makes a killing up
Yeah.
I bet.
Wow. Smart guy. Hmm?
But it was cool.
Put in the
that,
work.
that was probably one of the highlights of our trip.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
the hike.
Mm-hmm.
You'll remember it definitely. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you carried your drone up there. You probably carried a whole bunch of stuff with you. Up
I
there,
did.
Right?
I brought my book bag.
Oh
but
my goodness.
once we reached the top, it was like 30-mile-an-hour gust up in the top of the
You
peak.
can't fly your drone
Yeah.
like that.
No, like
Yeah. Go straight into
we
the
saw
volcano.
people almost like getting blown away.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
So I was like, I
Yeah.
brought my drone because I wanted a nice, cool shot. Because in this volcano, there's a small, like lagoon,
Uh-huh.
and it looks very fluorescent because of the sulfuric acid.
Mm-hmm.
So a drone shot would have been pretty cool, just looking down on it.
Uh-huh.
And
There's no way you could have flown it.
oh
nope.
yeah.
You would have lost that drone.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
without a doubt. One guy put his book bag down, and the book bag almost just went
Oh,
flying
he
off
didn't
the
lose-
volcano.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
So I was
gosh.
like, I'm not taking my drone out.
Yeah.
Right
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It was nice to see that, and it was a good experience. And we just kept like the guide and Jen kept waiting for me because I was like behind. But I was just like, I'm gonna do it. I
Yeah.
kept telling myself mentally, I'm gonna make it to the top.
Are the pupusas there? Do they taste better there than here?
Pretty much the same to me.
They're
They're
about the same.
they're made a little different. Like the cheese that they use over there, it's a little bit different. But it tastes just as good as here, in my opinion. I would say they're slightly better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Any
But
other
yeah.
foods you got there that you guys can't get here?
No, you.
I'm all about the food.
Pretty much, there's fruits that you can get there. You can't get here. It's not allowed to bring back. But the food, like
I bet you Consuela had some in her suitcase.
well, my mother brings back cheese all the time. So like
Yeah.
you know, she made sure I had to take her to the cheese place to get cheeses. She brings back like 5 pounds of cheese every time she goes.
Bro brought back like 6 bags of
Priorities.
coffee.
Oh, that's what that I bought.
Lot of
El
coffee.
Salvador is a big
Coffee
coffee
producer.
bean
Yep.
producer because of
Mhm.
the elevation.
Yep.
So I was buying coffee from all regions, and
Oh yeah.
it was like the same bag of coffee from El Salvador that I can get here for like $18-$20. I was getting it for $8.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
so
you
I
got all
bought-
kinds. You brought all kinds of beans home.
Yep.
Mhm.
You know
I-
that's how they hide drugs, right?
inside the coffee
We're gonna
bean.
pop it
Inside the
open.
coffee beans.
Cheese. I recently saw a drug bust. He hid it in the cheese. Yep.
That's my mom. My mom
what's
came
really
back.
in it?
She came back with all the drugs.
Are you really retired?
Griselda Blanco.
She's a mule. She's a drug
My
mule.
mom brings back medicine too. Like she gets a lot of like painkillers
Well, a lot of
over
people
there.
do that. Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Yeah, it's
My
cheap.
mom, yeah.
Everything's cheap over there, and it's cheap for us as Americans,
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
but for the locals, it's becoming expensive because
The
we're
cost of living.
Going-
because we're
Yeah.
going over there. And,
Spending
Right.
money, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
great place to do like a workshop. I feel like
In El
international.
Salvador.
Yeah.
Like you could
You
rent
do like a
out.
focus day at
Is
Like
it,
a
is it,
Airbnb.
what is the weather? Is it like
It's hot.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's like
Well, if you're
so
in the
hot.
like the coast, it's very hot. It was like 104 a couple of days.
And humid though.
humid?
It was bad.
104 humid is terrible.
It,
Even
it
90
was
degrees of humid is terrible.
It's so hot that we were at the beach
Yeah.
and we're like, it's too hot to be
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah,
Like we
Even in the
left.
water.
yeah.
Well, that beach that we went to, we couldn't go in the water because it's like a surf beach.
It's a surf beach,
Oh,
yeah. So
yeah.
it's rough waves. It's just more to like going to see it. There's a bunch of restaurants, so it
You
was
gotta be in the
pretty
sun,
hot.
too. Oh my
But
god.
the Airbnbs over there, like you could get a big Airbnb by the lake. There's a big lake over there.
much cooler up there.
Yeah, and it's really nice, and you have this beautiful view, beautiful grounds. Probably for like it could probably fit like 15, 20 people.
Wow.
These houses, and it's like $200 a night.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
But if it's that humid, usually you would have a lot of rain, and then the rain would take away the
Well,
humidity
it's
for a little bit.
summer right now over there. It's
There-
still summer.
yeah.
It's
What's
towards
the winter
end.
like?
The
Is it
winter,
still-
it's a lot of rain, but
Oh,
it's still
okay.
it's still like in the 80s, 85.
It's still
It's
hot.
still
Yeah.
pleasant though.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
pleasant.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's your next trip then after this?
We're going to Dallas.
Yeah.
The four of us are going to Dallas.
Dallas.
Your Focus Day podcast co-hosts are going to Dallas. So we're going to be hanging out with the makers of these lights up here that are lighting up our podcast.
Kikoto.
Shout out to Kikoto.
So we're gonna go to their podcast, which I'm very nervous about, guys.
Yeah.
There's tequila involved, and
So that's
and
the
it's
deal.
live.
So I don't
And
think-
it's
I don't-
live.
I don't know if our viewers or our listeners know what's involved here, right? So this is the arrangement. This is the agreement that we had. In order for us to be a guest on this podcast, this Kikoto podcast, is that we have to complete the entire bottle of tequila before we're allowed to get off the air until this interview is finished, right?
What's
But-
4 of us? So I mean, that
Yeah.
should
No,
be
no, no.
easy.
He said because there's so many of us, he's
Oh, he
gonna
got two bottles.
so I'm relying on you guys.
I can
He's got
drink,
2 bottles.
but not a whole bottle by myself. That's crazy. But I think he can do a whole bottle by himself.
Yeah.
Probably.
He's Mexican, so it's like water. But I mean, I could do a good amount too. Just like
I think with 5 of us, we could do it.
I've
Cash drinks like a
probably
fish.
done like 10 shots in the past
Well,
tequila.
I will rely on you
Rose
guys.
Never been drunk.
I've never seen Road drunk
Yeah,
before.
Rose
I've
never
been drunk.
drunk.
You
I've
just
seen him
haven't seen
dance.
me
There
yet.
was one time he went on a
This
family
might
trip.
be the time.
Yeah.
There was one time I saw
We shall
him.
see.
He was on a family trip, and he was sending me videos. I saw him dancing in a hotel room or something like that. That was the drunkest I've ever saw him.
That was in
Mexico?
Mexico. Yeah,
you go.
that was
Tequila.
tequila.
There you go. So we'll see.
And we're
Jen might
also-
throw up, whatever. I don't know. I'm counting on my co-host to take one for the
The
team.
most I ever shot I did was 22 shots.
That's a lot. I don't think I've ever done that
I
many.
can
That was
barely
for
do two.
my bachelor party.
Mm.
But for this one, we're not supposed to take shots. You gotta
Yeah.
just
Yeah, you
sip
gotta
it.
sip
You
it.
sip
So
I mean, this could last
it's,
a
it's gonna be a
while.
4-hour event.
We're gonna be live, and
We could be
also,
there forever.
also, it's not pre-recorded or edited. It's
No,
raw.
it's
Yeah,
live.
It's live. So we'll.
So what should you guys say?
Can we eat?
Yeah,
Maybe.
we could. Oh,
I haven't seen anybody in
I don't
the
think I want to
podcast
eat while I'm
eating.
drinking. This might go bad.
That's true.
But you want
We'll eat
to
beforehand.
soak it
Eat
up.
beforehand.
Yeah,
We'll eat.
we'll
We'll eat
eat
beforehand.
I'm sure we'll all go out to eat at some point.
Let's just
before,
not
yeah.
eat
I
Mexican
don't think
beforehand.
you'll be in any condition to eat after 2 bottles of tequila.
We'll eat before.
Think it'd be that bad?
We'll eat it like
We're
Italian.
gonna stumble into we won't even know where we are after 2 bottles of tequila. Okay, we won't even know where we are. Anyway, but
Good
yeah,
luck, guys.
we're very honored and thrilled to be invited as a guest to
Get
the-
abused.
And we also got to return the favors too. At some point, we'll go virtual with
Yeah,
Hiram as well.
yep.
Yeah, he'll come over. You guys get to meet I like to call him Jorge Clooney. He's the Spanish George Clooney.
Oh my god.
The most interesting man.
you know, at WPPI, I was so drunk. I was introducing you to everyone. I was introducing him to everyone too, right? So I was
Yeah,
like, hey
you
guys,
were. You
this is
were.
my friend Jorge.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Jorge Clooney.
Jorge.
He's like, hey, I don't know if he was embarrassed or mortified, but it was pretty funny.
That might be why he's bringing you back and giving you a lot of tequila, just to see what happens.
It's all your fault.
Everything's always my fault. But yeah, so I guess that's our next trip. And then the trip after that.
We're going to Iceland.
Iceland, probably.
And
Iceland,
Maybe Ireland?
yeah, we're gonna do both. Iceland
Together?
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're kinda close to one
Iceland,
another.
Ireland together.
Yeah.
probably. We're gonna try. Yeah.
In
When-
August.
Yeah.
You guys free August?
August. We're free all
It's for
summer.
Moses' 40th birthday.
He's going on this trip, Iceland and
Yeah.
and Ireland?
Yeah.
Mm.
It
loves
was
Guinness.
originally supposed to be a cruise from London.
Me and Ro were going on. Yeah.
It was supposed to leave out of London to Norway, right? Norway, a
Mm.
bunch of stops in Norway, and then leave us in Iceland. And then we were going to spend an extra 5 days, 4 or 5 days in Iceland. What ended up happening was Jen's aunt was celebrating her 60th.
60th.
It ended up interfering with the cruise dates.
Mm.
So we're like, all right, we'll just figure it out. Her aunt ended up changing the date of her party to a different date. So we're just like, screw it.
Yeah.
We're just gonna fly and just do it ourselves,
Yeah.
like plan it ourselves.
Mm.
Yeah.
So this is a cruise that's going to visit all these
Now we're not
places
doing the cruise anymore.
Now,
Cancel the cruise.
now we're just gonna go
Now we're just gonna go.
ourselves. Yeah.
over the course of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we have our kids with us, so
And there's a lot of hiking in Iceland.
and also like you don't want to travel with the Laos. I like by
The Laos
accident.
are like
But-
slow
you don't wanna
travelers.
you don't want to travel with Ben, Aiden, and Grayson.
But the thing is, like by accident,
They're
the Laos
so-
and Malinas happen to be
In
traveling at the
Paris.
same time to the same cities.
Mm-hmm.
We got to spend a little bit of time together, which was, I think, more than enough. I think because the Laos are terrible travelers.
Not minus me. You guys, they're the laziest travelers in the universe. I'm
Yeah.
like,
We sleep in.
Yeah,
call
no, we
it.
gotta go.
Yeah.
And it's 24 hours of sunlight in Iceland this time of year, so
Uh-huh.
it'll be. We'll probably just keep going.
There's no nighttime, I think, right?
Yeah,
No.
we would no longer be friends if we traveled. So,
Well, I mean, you could do whatever you want.
we
You
like
know?
to sleep in, yeah. But
mostly you like to sleep in.
when we travel, you sleep.
I wake up early. I go to the gym. I run.
No, you don't. When we went to Europe, when did
we
you go to the
don't. We
gym?
don't do
Yeah.
exercise. I mean, we're gonna walk anyway. Why are you working
Yeah,
out?
just walk instead of
'Cause I
taking
just do. I
Ubers.
just do.
You don't.
It requires a lot of
You're
hard
so
work
annoying.
and discipline to
Right.
look this
no,
mediocre.
Well, the invite is open. If you
you
guys,
guys booked it? You
No,
guys
we
booked
haven't
it?
done anything yet.
We're gonna start
For
soon.
how
though.
long are you planning?
Probably 2 weeks.
I'll tell you right now. the
2 weeks?
exact
So probably
dates.
like maybe like 5-6 days in each, maybe.
5,
Like
6 days, 10 days.
Iceland and Ireland.
How much
that's
is it?
that's
about
on a bucket
10,
list.
10
too.
grand? Yeah,
No,
That's on
it'll
a
be
bucket
less than that.
list.
Oh,
the,
yeah?
the cruise was like 8 for the two of us, 7
Mhm.
with flights and everything.
Yeah.
This is gonna be cheaper because we're going.
I saw the flight to Ireland was actually only like 2:30 one way.
Oh,
It's
what?
close. It's like right up.
It has a layover in Iceland, but
so we're
it
thinking
was only
of
2:30 to get
of
to Ireland
flying out the 3rd, right? August 3rd
or the 4th.
or the 4th, and then coming back
I think we're
the
shooting in August.
16th. The 16th.
It's only July that we're free completely. Well, not anymore. I just got a booking. So,
We're pretty free in the summer.
but we have 1 or 2
Karis
weeks.
makes sure. She's saying don't book anything else.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
But
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the invitation.
yes.
We have to do another another spin, in front of a landmark. This time you spin.
In the
I'll
castle
spin.
in Ireland.
That's right.
I'll spin you in front of a waterfall or something.
Fine. Yeah. So we have that plan, and
Uh-huh.
that's about it right now.
Yeah.
We'll probably squeeze in one more trip at some point, but
December. I like
Yeah.
doing like a trip after the wedding season ends in December. And
we went to
That was
Aruba
fun.
last year, and
Yeah.
that was amazing. Right after the wedding rush, we
Mhm.
were out there for 5 days. It was Amazing. We should definitely keep that
We
tradition.
need more bookings.
We need more. I think we all need more bookings. So I went through our bookings for this year. I think we're okay.
Yeah.
We're it's a strange year. We're a little bit like less. We're doing a little bit less than what we normally do, but that was kind of expected.
Yeah.
But also the asterisk to that is that these are higher ticket clients.
Bookings.
So like yes, even though I booked maybe 10% less than last year, right? I'm also charging like 20-30% more, right?
Okay.
And I'm also earning more than that, because we're IPSing now. So yeah, we're booking less, earning more. But the thing is, because I run an associate team, the volume does matter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm gonna have to kind of place
Crank
my
it
focus
up.
for,
Yeah.
crank it up for next year.
I think next year is going to be a little better than this year, obviously. But right now is the time to put it in gear and start hustling because the springtime's coming. Everyone's going to be planning for the spring of next year, summer, fall.
Mhm.
So I guess in the next month, we'll probably see a bigger increase in inquiries.
It's gotten quiet again. I feel like maybe people started picking up
Yeah,
because I haven't seen any posts lately about how's booking. It's like always that winter, like everyone
Well,
booking.
maybe
It's so slow.
I've been blocking those people, so maybe I haven't seen those complaints as
Well, we
much.
haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah.
I got tired of seeing them, but all those people shared something in common. They weren't putting in the work. I'm sorry to say, but they weren't. Like if you go on their site, their social media outlets, like they were.
They're not blogging. They're not posting on social.
So it's like you're crying about not getting bookings, but you're not even doing everything in your power to try to bring in as many bookings as possible.
And I touched on this yesterday on my live as well. Like I think for some of these folks, not every one of them, right? But for some of them, I think for some of them, they are not competitive. Their offer is not competitive, whether it's the quality of the product or what they're charging for that product. So it's twofold, right? Because there are certainly some folks who, they're charging a certain rate, but they're not delivering that quality of work that's competitive at that rate. So I'll give you an example. It's sort of like if you're telling everyone that you're selling champagne, but you're actually selling beer. You know what I mean? It's different. There's nothing wrong with beer. If you're selling beer, then charge beer prices, right? Or even sell luxury beer prices, right? But don't be selling it or trying to make it out that you're selling champagne and charging champagne prices when you're right. So I think people need to recognize what their product is worth in the market. Be very honest with themselves, what they're actually offering out there into the world, and charge accordingly. I did look at some folks who were struggling and stuff. You got pictures that are crooked, not exposed properly, it's blurry, it's got all kinds of issues and stuff like that. I was like, you can't be. This is not your best work. I don't even know why you're sharing it. You know what I mean? Like, how are you supposed to be charging market rate for below market level work? Right? Well, I didn't say this part out loud. I'm just thinking to myself, like, can't be doing that.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like most of us have our down days too, but you'll never see me post that stuff. I'm sorry.
I think you shared something with me recently, right? We have a mutual friend.
Yes.
Who's
been in the game long enough. And I'm just like, did you not call this down a little bit more? Or assess?
He shared 5 images or 6. I don't know. Actually, it's whatever you share with me, right?
I shared there was a lot, but I just shared the worst of the worst. And I was just like, did you look at these?
What were you thinking?
Very confused. There's weird faces, moments that are not real moments. It's just I didn't get it. Posing that was really bad.
These should have definitely been called down.
Oh, unflattering.
Should not have made the gallery.
faces.
Definitely should not have made the gallery, much less publicly on a blog post or a social media post or
Yeah.
whatever.
As I'm going through, I don't know, maybe because I have the photographer's eye, but in my head, as I'm going through, I'm like, what is the client thinking when she's seeing these pictures of the
Making
weird
funny,
face she's
faces.
making, or a shot where the guy looks like he's about to pop a squat? I'm very confused. And I know this person isn't in the game long enough. I've seen their work before. It has some beautiful work, but I don't know if it was an off day or if it was an off day. Just don't post that.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with not posting all your work. You're gonna fish more people that are probably seeing that type of quality and thinking that it's cheaper.
Fish, as in catfish?
Well, I guess or I'm sorry, that work is bait, right? And you're gonna be attracting more people
who want that kind of work.
right,
Like
but
the garbage
but
work or
all-
the nice work.
Who can't tell the difference? I guess.
who can't tell
Oh.
the difference and expect, they say, oh, these are decent, and expect to pay a decent price is what I'm
Mhm.
saying. So like by putting out stuff like that, it's not doing yourself any service.
So the moral of our little discussion here is that I think it serves us all well if we curate our
Better.
portfolio a little
Yes,
better.
yeah.
You know,
Of
only
course.
put your best foot forward. Because the thing is, your prospective clients, people haven't hired you yet, right? You only have one shot at a first impression. Sort of like when you go on a first date with someone, right? You're not going to show up with crumbs on your shirt and you're all disheveled and you got stains on all your clothes and everything. You need to put your best foot forward. You got to make sure everything's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That's your first impression. You know what I mean? So anything that's client facing, whether it's your social media, your blog, your presentation, everything needs to be perfect.
And also like I say this a lot. Some of my best work is not even on my website because it doesn't fit my brand, right?
Mhm.
So it to us, like as a photographer, I'll show you this image. Yeah, it'll win an award, but it's not on my website because it
Mhm.
doesn't attract my
Ideal
target.
client.
Yeah, my target client.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people need to understand that. Like they get attached to like these award winning images, but that's not sending the signal to the right people.
Mhm.
And if your homepage is just showing all these like images that are not connecting with people, you're not gonna do a good job at finding the right profile to attract to your business.
That's sort of kind of what you guys are working through right now with your coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So right now we're talking about identifying our buyer types. So
Mhm. But this is pretty general information.
yeah,
like
general
having-
information about identifying the type of buyer type that you want to work with or that your brand attracts. So, for
Mhm.
example, there is the analyzer, which is
Sure.
the person that asks all the questions, wants to know, basically just wants to know what things cost, how it works. The boss type, and this goes to the client that you were talking about in your live yesterday that basically just wants to feel like they're in charge
Mhm.
and getting a deal. Or
Mhm.
like, your collection's $3,000, but can you at least give me $50 off so I can feel like I won something? Or
Yeah, whatever you
Sure.
want, dude.
they want to be the boss.
They want to
kind
win.
of
They
they
want to
wanna-
come out. Yeah.
they want to feel like they're on top and that.
Mhm.
And some people are fine working with that type of people.
Mhm.
The type of buyers that we work with are dreamers and relators.
Mhm.
Dreamers are very visual, love creativity. They are they know what they want when they see it. So it's a lot of more of like a visual type of person.
Mhm.
And then relator is someone who wants to relate to people and is more attracted to things like moments, traditions of weddings, very like involved in like personable
Right.
kind of stuff.
And you can still have a very consistent brand, but even within that consistency, even within that general group, right? You have different type of buyer personas. There's different triggers that will get them to move forward and get them across the finish line, right? So a
Mhm.
lot of what I teach in my course is like, you have people who are who buy logically, you have people who buy emotionally, you have people
Mhm.
that buy on authority, right? Like,
Mhm.
do they trust you?
Yep.
Right. And the thing is, you as a business owner, you need to figure out what kind of buyer you have in front of you, so that way you know which course to take. You're going to figure out how to lead that conversation, so you can get them across the finish line. Because if you're talking to an emotional buyer and you're just hitting them with facts and numbers and figures and stuff, that's not how you're going to get them
Yeah.
across the finish line, right?
I think a lot of people don't know how to communicate to that type of buyer.
Right.
And a lot of people get defensive. So like for example, like if you have someone that's like an analyzer, right? And they want to see more galleries or something, or they want to see, hey, have you ever shot here? Can you
Mhm.
send me a gallery from here?
Or they send you like a list of questions.
Right. And you're like,
That's fine.
sure, right?
Mhm.
But some people would be like, whatever you see on my site is what I could produce, right?
Mhm.
Like right away, a lot of
You're
people will
done,
put
man.
that defensive guard.
Mhm.
And sometimes you just have to hold their hand just a little bit longer and say, yeah, sure, I'll send you these galleries. And if it's different to what you send them, just explain to them like, hey, this is a cloudy day. If this gallery it was sunny, this is what it'll look like if it was sunny. You just have to explain to them why galleries are not all the same sometimes. But some people won't even do that. They'll take offense and like, I don't have to send you anything.
You
Whatever
know
you
what?
see.
Actually, I wouldn't say it's like category flags or anything like that, but like I have a VA, Abby, and I tell her, hey, listen, this is this type of client. This is what we need to do. Proceed this way with this client. We're like, this one needs a little bit more handholding, and she'll know how to proceed accordingly. It's like, yeah, I get it. We need to do a little bit more handholding with this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this just kind of like helps us keep our own sanity, because sometimes I think we get a little bit overwhelmed. We get a little bit emotional, like, oh my God, this client's a pain in the ass. Well, no, they're not a pain in the ass. It's just, this is how they want to be served. This is the
Yeah.
way that you can serve them the most meaningful way. And at the end of the day, and I think Harris and I, we agree on this 1000%, is that at the end of the day, we're still in the service industry. The only thing different between us and the barber and the Uber driver is that, our tools of our trade is our camera. At the end of the day, you have a customer that you need to take care of, you need to make happy. You know what I mean? They're hiring you for a service. So how you serve them is, how you serve them appropriately is it's going to come down to you understanding what their needs are. And how do you do
Correct.
that, right? How do you figure out what kind of buyer you have in front of you? And I think that comes down to, number one, hopefully you're putting out the right branding messaging out there, that you're attracting the kind of people that you can serve best. But even if you don't, right, you're just attracting like a general group of people. The best way that you can move forward, just to make sure, just to confirm you get the right person in front of you, ask questions.
The consultation.
Just talk
The
to them.
consultation will tell you everything you need to know about the couple that you're trying to get you to book.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that we notice, when we get the people that want a little bit more attention, they'll meet with us and then they'll ask for a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, can we talk to you? And right away, we already know, there's a high chance they're gonna book. They just want to narrow down a few of the details to be sure.
Mm-hmm.
And those, as much as we hate being on the phone or having a second meeting, we always do it and they always turn out well. It's just more of a reassurance.
Yep.
And giving them confidence that you're going to do the job that they want. And
What I learned, the buyer types that we attract, which are relators or dreamers, they always have an analyzer behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Always like a parent.
Mhm.
So whenever there's always like a second call, 9 times out of 10, they've spoken to their
Someone's in
parents.
their ear.
And or we've sent the contract to them check out before they decide they want to book. And then the parent is asking all the questions. And then that's when they usually come back for a second phone call or a second meeting, because they always have someone behind the scenes kind of telling them hey,
and that's
these are the
fine.
things you need to take care of.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then to me, that's fine, because as long as my client is still, the person that I'm dealing with is under that relator dreamer role,
Mm-hmm.
that's all I care about.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's so important for us to really understand who we're serving, and it's not, we're not trying to pigeonhole everyone into what we think should be the perfect client.
It's also something that you learn further into your career, right? Because in the beginning, you're not going to screen. You're not going to do this much screening
Mm-hmm.
for those clients. You should get, anyone wants to
Throw money at you, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So these are things that come as your business grows
And matures and evolves.
Yeah, and
Yep.
you finally have found your ideal style. Your work is communicating to those people, and also your website and your branding is also communicating to those people. It's taken us over a decade to really narrow down,
Mhm.
and I feel like we're still in that process, but we do a good job at attracting the clients that we want.
I don't think people realize how much psychological stuff goes into your website.
Mhm.
People just think, oh, I just need my pictures up there,
Just
and
pretty
that's it.
pictures, just pretty
And then they're
pictures.
complaining about the people that they're getting because they
Mhm.
haven't laid out any messaging that explains to them who they are, how they work, why they love what they do,
Mhm.
how the process is with you. That's where the issues arise.
What problem you're solving?
Right. They're not putting it in their social
Mhm.
media marketing or anything. It's just kind of flat messaging. So of course you're going to generate people that just like pretty pictures, and then that's all they care about, and then that leads to more problems because they're not
Filtering, yeah.
filtering out who they're getting.
Yeah. But I
The
think in
food
this
part.
climate, right? I think some people are so preoccupied with, making rent, in their mortgage, making their bills, that they don't really care about who their ideal client persona is. They'll take anyone who'll throw money at them because they don't even have that, to filter through. You know what I mean?
That's going to be exhausting in the long run. If you're constantly
yeah.
complaining, even if you attract 70%, right, of your ideal client, that 30% is going to make you reconsider this
Mhm.
career,
Mhm.
because that 30% is going to stress you out in all aspects of the whole process.
Mhm.
And over time, let's say you do this 10, 15 years, it's exhausting. It's tiring. So I feel like it's a bad business model to approach, and just trying to throw up a big net and just try
Catch
to,
whatever comes in.
yeah. Eventually, you're gonna have to, make that net work for you, like making a smaller net, but actually knowing where where you're gonna catch them.
Mhm.
And like I said, it's something that's like, as all the years that we've been doing is like it's constantly changing. You're constantly, tweaking things to attract the right people.
Mhm.
And that's why we're always like learning and investing our money into these things. Like some people won't even change their website after 10 years, and then they're wondering why they're not, communicating properly.
Yeah. Do you know who gets like the perfect clients that match their buyer persona, their
Hey,
their city
Karis.
style? Hey, Karis. Hey, effing Karis. You know? Well, anyway, so Karis gets a lot of her ideal clients.
Yeah.
From day one, she's always gotten like her people. I think a lot of it came down to the brand messaging that we were putting out. We were very intentional about the kind of images that we were showing and also what we were sharing
Mhm.
with our audience, right? I mean, what are you sharing with your audience that like gets people to be like, hey, this is my person? Do your clients ever tell you, like when your clients reach out to you and you're interviewing them, right? Do you ever ask them, hey, listen, why me? Why did you reach out to me out of all these people? Because my
Yeah,
my portfolio is very different. You got to be
it's,
close to your mic.
it's similar to, I think, what everyone's getting.
You need to be one.
Asking my clients. I do. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But
it doesn't hurt to ask.
so there are some people that are like specific and they point out like certain photo.
Mhm.
These are the reason. But I think a lot of times it's the off approach of my photos where I really don't have rules and my brain is just, big thing of colors and words. So a lot of them likes that off-beaten photos. Like,
Mhm.
They're
you
not
know,
traditional.
right. And there are stay straight out say, yeah, we like the weird stuff. And, and a lot of them say, like moments, yeah, storytelling. And as you're watching through the whole wedding and moments. But
We have
yeah,
thousands of photographers in our market. Like, I do storytelling.
right. Storytelling
You
and the
know,
moments, right?
I do candids.
Yeah. So it's the weird stuff, I guess. And it's usually a lot the groom that likes the, weird, funny stuff. But
Mhm.
but I think that's what it is. I don't think my photos are that romantic, I'm definitely not doing the romantic stuff. And I try not to show those, romantic, like traditional stuff. So I
Yeah.
guess if you're coming to look for those traditional stuff,
You're not going to stand out that
I'm
way.
not going to be, the right fit.
Mhm.
But I do those. If
Well,
you want to
what-
see the gallery, I'll show it
Yeah.
to you. But,
But that's
Yeah.
the whole thing of you filtering
right,
what you're
right.
showing,
Because I don't
right?
want
Is
that,
you don't want those people
yeah, boring,
that are expecting that. Yeah.
boring potato personalities.
You have a personality of potato. That's the.
Because there is one photo I took at a venue where it's a sculpture. It's like a Greek sculpture of a lady, like naked lady's
butt.
body with a butt, right? And I have that photo. The butt is main focus,
It's the
and I
foreground.
have the girls in the just background, right? I had the girls all sit, and then I just have the sculpture like right in the middle, and that's in focus. And yeah, I had like several people that like inquire because of that photo. So it's those.
A little wacky and weird.
Quirky people.
You're like, we just love the sculpture, the butt of the sculpture.
Yeah, I had a like specific couple actually like bring that up, and like they're like, yeah, we loved it.
Are there other wacky and weird photographers here in Jersey?
Yeah. I
I want to
wouldn't
know
say
some names. I want to know some names
I-
because
I-
I'm curious.
I wouldn't say weird. I would say more of like spunky. I feel like Jeff Tisman.
Tisman, right?
Jeff
Yeah,
Tisman's one of
okay.
those people.
Yeah.
Is his boy Drew?
Drew Noel.
Yeah, Drew Noel's
As well?
very similar. I haven't seen Todd Laffler in a while's work, but he was
It's like
always.
all three of those are like fearless type.
Fearless.
Well,
Yep.
they were
Mhm.
all friends.
Yeah, yeah,
They've
yeah,
all,
yep,
like,
yep.
so I feel they're all very similar
Yeah.
work. So I feel like
Fearless
their
people
style is very
definitely.
like
Yeah,
very
yeah.
quirky and colorful.
Yep.
There's a market for that, but I also feel like, and I might get ridiculed for saying this, but I feel like people are also moving away
Mhm.
from that type of
Yep.
work.
Not
It has to be
the.
very specific. So I'm in a lot of marketing emails, right? I get a lot of marketing ideas. You guys remember a couple years ago that Lady Gaga went to some award show with a meat dress?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
And then like I would say 60% of people were just like, oh, you're fucking weird. You're gross, right? And then some of them were a little indifferent. And then I think Justin Bieber and Rihanna were like, yeah, you go ahead with yourself, girl, right? Like the thing is with marketing, I think people need to be so hyper specific with their product, with their messaging, that it should only be appropriate for their target audience. It should not be attractive to anyone else,
Everyone. Yep.
right? So Karis's work would be very appealing to her target client, but it shouldn't. If she's doing her messaging right, it should be repulsive to pretty much
Of
everyone
course.
else.
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing with me. My style. My style's not as crazy as Karis's. It's like it's a little safer, but I do color outside the lines a lot. I do a lot of conceptual portraits and stuff. And when I do these shows, these trade shows and stuff, you would think it's like this guy's like weird, telling all these prospective clients that my work is not for everyone. Like, listen, I hope that you enjoy my work, but it's okay if you don't, because I understand my work's a little bit wacky, a little bit weird. But for those who like it, they love it, right? And they see my work, and certainly it's something different, right? But the thing is, the people who come on board, they're 1,000% on board. One of the greatest phrases I heard from Karis when she was doing her initial sales calls was like, "Hey, listen, man, you're either 200% like fuck yeah, or like 1,000% fuck no, right? Like, there's no in between. I don't want you to be wishy-washy when you come on board with me. You need to be like fully on board when you hire me as your photographer." And I think that's the right way to go about doing it. I was so proud
Oh,
of it.
you said, Karis?
Yeah, this was older consult. Yep.
You gotta get close to your mic.
Yeah.
Get the mic
She was
close
like,
to you.
you either hire me or fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said that like on the call.
You
I was
gotta
like,
love me.
Did she
or,
just
yep.
did she just curse on the console, right? But they booked with her, right? And I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it worked. But she's absolutely right. I think there's an advertiser, I think Ogilvy, right? It was a very famous saying of his, like, listen, if you're doing your marketing right, your offer should repel as much as it attracts.
Of course.
Your stuff should not be for everyone, even for something as popular as Apple products, right? It's not for everyone. Not everyone loves Apple products.
Yep.
But the people who love Apple products, they are all over it. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's the first. One of the first filters is going to your website, seeing the work, and then if you do it right, there's more filters along the way before they actually meet with you for a consultation or a phone call, and then you filter each other a little bit further than that. But I mean, how often do you hop on a consultation and you get off and you're like,
Yeah.
they're not gonna book me, and we're not a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
If they come back, you're already thinking of a way out of
Yeah.
it.
Oh
They
my
come
God.
back.
Hope they don't.
And what
Yep.
happens? They never come back,
Yep.
right?
Uh-huh.
That's
Yep.
what happens. That happens to us.
Yeah.
Occasionally, we'll get a couple, and I'm just like, "What went wrong?" Right? But it doesn't happen enough to
Right.
really try to figure out what went wrong. So it's just like we always have a thing; it'll work itself out, and they never come back. Just we both know that we're just not a good fit for each other, and
Mm-hmm. It's very rare that by the time we get to the consultation phase of this journey, where the client's like not at least 80%
right.
a good fit.
Yep.
By the time they get to the consultation phase, it's if I get him or not get him, I'll be fine either way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, I hope I get them, right? But the thing is, it's not going to be a bad fit client most of the time. It's going to be very rare that we'll end up booking a client that's a bad fit.
Like before, you just like you either book me, or you don't. And now it's like you follow up and like,
Yeah.
hey, is there any other questions? No.
A month later, they're like,
do you want to see me tap dance before you send a retainer?
I will say though,
they're taking so much longer.
I will say that the client journey is a little longer this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're getting people, well, you specifically are getting people that are planning in a shorter amount of time.
It's so weird.
like,
Yeah.
I got two weddings this past weekend.
year, for the summer.
One for 4
Yeah.
months, one for 4 months out, one for 2 months out.
so crazy.
I thought I was done for this year. I'm still getting weddings for this year.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mhm.
Good.
So I'll hit my numbers.
But it shows people are taking their time.
I'm getting a heart attack too.
And
I'm never gonna fill this calendar, right? But they're coming in last minute. They're filling it
Like,
up.
hey, what are you doing next week? I'm like, let me check. I'm available.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
much. Yep.
We had this one, calling back to like working more for the booking. We had this one lead we met with. It turned out nice, right? She emailed back, was still interested. I'm like, all right, cool. But they were debating on whether or not to have an engagement session.
Mhm.
They debated that for a month
What?
before they came back and actually decided. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Did they end up including it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
But were you guys already including it in your package, or was it a
No,
line
so
item
we
a la
have
carte?
our base doesn't have one. Our top 3 has.
Mhm.
but they were debating if they were going to do their engagement photos, I think in Maine or something.
Local,
Or
yeah.
something
If they were gonna do it here or somewhere else.
somewhere
yeah.
else. If they were going to do it somewhere else where they go in the summer, they would use a local
But
photographer.
it took them a month to narrow that detail down before they came back. So I wrote them off. I'm
Then it
just
took like 3 weeks to sign the con. Like
Yeah.
people were
Yeah.
just
Oh yeah.
chilling.
Mhm.
it's that
There's definitely no urgency. Yep.
No.
hmm
Yep. Definitely no.
And
Yep.
you know what? It's weird because too, like all the meetings that we've had lately, the first thing most people say, like Jen always asks, how was the venue search, and almost everyone says with first venue we went, everything was booked up, so we had to get on the ball, right? So they're saying that about the venue, but yeah, they're like dragging their feet with everything else.
Mm.
There's more
Well,
options.
there's more photographers
options.
than there are
Yep.
venues.
Yeah, more options.
True.
Yep.
Okay.
So they're
Yeah,
They're
they can
just-
take their sweet
We're
time.
overflowing
There's
even
no
on social
urgency.
media.
Yeah.
There's no urgency.
There's a new photographer just came out. Hello.
There's absolutely no urgency. But you know what? I'm doing a lot of extra work to get these inquiries now.
Yep.
Like I used to not send video greetings to so like I'm on a preferred vendor list, right? And they send me a CSV file of everyone who booked us in the prior month, right?
Yeah.
And I used to just email them, right? I'm sending a video message to every single one of
Oh
them.
my god.
And it would take me like a half a day just to go through the entire list. Hey, Ashley and Joe. Hey, Colleen and I mean, just going through the whole entire list. I'm like, but that's the nature of what we have to do. We have
And
to
I think-
do something a little different now.
And I think maybe because, like after COVID, it's been like 4 years now, because I think like everything is opening up. And I think just socializing, just work, I think everything is just hitting the world like all at once. So maybe that's another.
What is too
maybe
overwhelming for people to
their
handle?
life, their personal life, and their work, and that's all just hitting them full force too. I have a lot of clients where their like work is like crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't really get to it. Yep.
I don't know if that's a good excuse.
Are you working this hard for PPS or for BLP?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
BLP is
we're-
okay.
We're trying to grow to PPS, and
yeah.
but
Yeah.
we need more bookings for PPS.
Because BLP is on more preferred vendor list than PPS. PPS is only on like 2 or 3 lists.
Mm-hmm.
BLP is on like 12 lists.
Mm-hmm.
So they come in. But here's the catch, right? A lot of the lists that I'm on, right? They're telling me that there's a slowdown in bookings for them too.
Mm-hmm.
They are about 20 to 30% behind as well.
Depends on the venue. There's some venues
There's some
that we
venues
talked
that
about
are
that are
going
like
crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
Killing
just freaking.
Yep.
It's crazy. Like, and the venues that are doing well are the ones that when you shoot there, you post something on your Instagram and they inquire, and if they reshare it and you get inquiries,
Yeah.
that venue's doing well because they have so many leads that are just like watching what they're posting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like everyone's working a little harder. And next year seems a little better, which is nice.
To be honest, I could work a little harder for on the marketing end of things, because the thing is, I've set up everything to work passively for me, right? So like I just let it coast for the last 2-3 years, and it's done okay for me. But I kind of took my eye off the ball when I was planning the summit and doing all these other things too, a lot of my educational
Your
platforms,
education,
like that,
yeah.
right? So I just need to it's just like riding a bike. You can coast for a little while, right?
Mhm.
But
And,
eventually you gotta
Yeah,
put a little
you're
bit
gonna
more
come
work.
to a stop.
yeah.
Yeah, so you have to just put a little bit more work on it. So
Mhm.
that's all I got to do. Yeah, it's not broken yet.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely concerned. I have enough savings to last me at least another year or two. As long as I don't buy any watches, I think I'm okay, right? But yeah, and I think that's another common trap that a lot of people fall into, especially veterans who've been doing this for a long time. They were coasting for a long time. I think we have another mutual friend been doing it for over 10 years, right? And she's like, all the things that I used to do to market my business, all the things I used to do to market my business, not working anymore. Well, no kidding. You haven't done anything. You haven't updated your Instagram in a long ass time, right? Just like personality conflicts aside, right? From a marketing end of things, you haven't really done much to market yourself. You're relying on referrals from past clients who aren't referring you anymore.
That also tells you like if they don't even update their site, post to social media, damn sure they're not sending pictures to vendors, to venues. you know, they're not gonna bother with that.
Mhm.
So, you know,
They're looking for the silver bullet to fix their
Yeah.
problem, but
they're
the
waiting
thing
for
is,
it to come to them
Yep.
instead of going out and being proactive and
Yeah.
chasing it.
like one of my favorite things I like to tell people in my lives and my classes and my courses and my students, like, listen, sometimes the fish won't come to you. Like when you're putting out your line out into the water, you're waiting for the fish to come to you, but sometimes the fish won't come to you. That's the case. You got to go to the fish. That's all. Right? You got to change your bait or go somewhere else. Find where the fish are.
Spot. Yep.
And the way to throw out the bait is different now. No more. You can't just put up pretty pictures. And at this point, Angela's episode should have come out, so you'll learn a whole lot about like you have to put yourself out there as well. You're no longer just the product; you are the person behind the brand. So it's not just being like, oh, let me put up 5 photos this week, and then let's see what happens. People don't care anymore. They don't want to just see your pretty pictures. They want to see you. They want to see behind the scenes. They want to see how you work, why you work the way you work, what you love about your job. So it's very much of like, unfortunately, putting so much more of yourself out there instead of just.
So those people
Pretty
are like, I don't really like being on social media. I don't like putting myself
I
out
didn't sign
there.
up for this.
I didn't sign up to be a social
Us either.
media
Yeah.
influencer.
I didn't sign up either,
Yeah.
but we're doing it, right?
Yep.
Because we want to work. We want to still bring
Yep.
in
You
leads.
gotta-
We
you
want to
gotta
survive.
Evolve. Yep.
Mhm.
I like to travel. I like nice things. I like.
He needs
I
20
like-
more watches.
I like escape rooms. I like eating gumbo with my
Escape
friends. You know,
rooms.
this stuff costs money. So
We
it
gotta
means-
find one for Dallas.
So if that means I gotta you know, if I that means I gotta like show more of myself on social media, then that's my tax.
Things-
That's my cost of admission. You know what I mean?
Things are constantly evolving, right, and changing. When me and Jen started our business, we missed the Facebook wave, where photographers were getting all their leads through Facebook. They would post a wedding, and then that would get so much reach.
Yeah.
We came in and missed that
Yeah.
wave, right?
I rode that wave like
Yeah.
a mofo.
Right.
That
The wave's dying,
as-
Ben.
yeah.
You're just still holding on.
as well as many other photographers
Uh-huh.
too that started before us, right? We missed that wave, so we had to, we have to ride a different way. We have to come up with our own ways to
Mhm.
bring leads in, and it's constantly changing, right? And we're also changing. And if you don't change, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, you die out, man. It's Darwin. It's the survival of the fittest. You know what I mean? I think I told you guys this story before. Like when I first started, we met this 30-year veteran. He's like, man, I used to rock and roll. I used to make so much money. It's all dried up now. Like I don't know what's going on. And meanwhile, that year when I was talking to that guy, I had 40 weddings on the books. I told him that, and he didn't believe me. You know, I was like, well, all right, well, how are you marketing yourself right now? Oh, I spent $2,000 a month on Yellow Pages. And stuff. I was like, that's why. You know where it's happening? It's happening on Facebook right now, my man. You got to get on Facebook
Yellow
right
Pages.
now.
Right? Yeah. Like it was so easy before, like on Facebook to get reach.
I put one wedding up, I'd get three inquiries.
Facebook and you got Pinterest.
Mm-hmm.
Pinterest
We-
still
we have-
works.
So
Yep,
Pinterest
we
still
got
works.
Pinterest still
a-
works.
You just
no,
gotta-
we
you
got
gotta-
a lot of
You have to
Pinterest,
put different kinds of content out there right now. Pretty pictures are not going to cut it. You got to do other stuff right now. I'm just too busy to do all that. But you'd be so proud of me because I actually leveraged Instagram this past weekend and got the booking that I was talking about yesterday on yesterday's live.
What'd you do on Instagram?
I gave him my Instagram QR code.
First of all, I just want you to know that I didn't even know there was a QR code
Oh, yeah,
option.
there's a QR code.
Did you know?
So you were ahead of me on that.
Did you know?
I just tell them my name. That's
No,
all.
no. Check it out. I'll show you something. This is really cool. You can be
Ben's
so
so
impressed.
proud.
I actually know something about Instagram that you don't. All right. So,
Sure.
so check this out. You go to this option here.
Oh, yeah. That's
new.
Oh, there it is.
There
Here
we
it is. Here it
go.
is. Sorry.
That's new.
I'm so
That's
sorry. It's right
somewhat
there.
recent.
Karis got to a lot
You
quicker.
are- You're so weird.
We'll keep that in. I'd be like my dad. Like, that's it.
Ben was like,
You know,
Hamburger button and then.
you know, like the boomer using the index finger
Yeah.
to.
You look like
to
my
go to the-
that-
So anyway, so
that
this
book
past
was my
weekend,
mom.
I was working a wedding, and it's like, hey, let me get your business card. And I was like, I'll give you my Instagram. I got you, right? And
Mhm.
I pulled it up a lot quicker than what I just did now, right?
How did you find out about that?
What do you mean?
How did
QR
you
code?
learn to the
Oh,
QR?
I learned that at WPPI.
I always knew, but a whole bunch of people did not know during that taco
So
dinner.
we
Yep.
were at taco dinner at
Ah.
Imagine with Imagine. Shout out
Uh-huh.
to Imagine AI,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
we were there, and everyone was sharing their profiles. I was like, what is that? It's a QR code. I was like, do we all have that? It's like, yeah, it's over here. And I was like, oh shit. So as long as you have your phone, people can get your info without having to type in all your shit. You know, you just scan it and they're in your profile. So
Nice.
that was
Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool.
And you gotta-
are you playing with it right now?
No,
No.
he was on his game. On his
Oh.
game. Every time he lifts up his phone,
It's a game.
it's the game.
That's so funny. So anyway, yeah. So I gave him my IG on Saturday night as I was leaving,
Mhm.
and then I'll reach out to you. And then he messaged me the following morning. Hey, my fiance and I would love to chat with you. Would love to connect with you.
Mhm.
So he was like, yeah. This was an 8th generation referral,
Mhm.
right? So I already have the trust factor in there already. But so I think I talked about this on the live yesterday.
So was it the 8th generation that got you in, or Instagram? Because then
Instagram?
I wouldn't say you really leveraged Instagram, did you?
You did
No,
not.
but
That was on
he wouldn't
Instagram
be-
marketing.
He wouldn't have been able to
You
find me
just
that
got a
quickly.
follower. On
No,
Instagram.
no. It wasn't Instagram. Let me tell you why. Because I posted the sneak peeks that night. And that
From
morning,
that wedding.
the following morning, he's like, I
Uh-huh.
just saw the sneak peeks. These were incredible because I was there too. I didn't see what you saw,
Mhm.
right? And also, it was an 8th generation. referral.
Yeah.
That was probably a large part of it.
Yeah.
Right?
How does that work? The generation. You have a little board with little.
I
tape?
have it up here. I know.
knows,
I
like,
know.
every little
I know
thing
how many
of thing.
generations it is.
Right here.
Yeah, I have it up here. So
I got pissed of that.
I didn't get all of them. She got one of those. One of the breakaways, right?
Nice.
So it's okay. It's fine.
So 7 generations then.
And on the call, I asked all my standard questions. Why me? Why not the photographer who shot your engagement session this past winter?
Mhm.
Why this? What kind of problems are you trying to solve? What kind of issues are you seeing when you're interviewing these people, searching for photographers? They told me all these problems. And one of the main problems that they had was, the groom has glasses and stuff. There was a glare and stuff. And actually, I performed the magic trick in front of them before their very eyes. I was like, all right, Brian, I need you to look at this screen right now, watch his face. And I just posed him right in front of her, and the glare went away like magic. Their minds were whoosh. And I did my bow. And I was like, sign right here. Your retainer is this amount.
Give me your money.
And it was a done deal. It was a done deal within 48 hours after the wedding.
Nice.
All right.
That's pretty
So
cool.
I leveraged a lot of the relationships that I
Mhm.
had with, their friends and their family. They saw me at work. That's the other thing about, making sure that you're presentable when you're out there working. Because I know I work with videographers who are sloppy as hell when they go out to work,
Most of them are
Mhm.
sloppy. Yep.
right? So when you come out there, you gotta be correct. You guys can't be making fun of me when I go out there in a tux next time. I'm kidding.
Definitely will.
I'm kidding. I'm not wearing a tux. I'm kidding. I'm not wearing a tux. But you got to be presentable. You got to be friendly. You got to serve everyone in the room, not just the people that paid you to be there. You got to serve everyone in the room. I took a picture of him and his fiance at the wedding. Take care of people, solve their problems, all right? Make their lives easier. That's how you get bookings.
That's right.
Right. On
You
that
guys
note,
ready?
that
Yeah.
There you go. How late is it?
You
It is
kept, you
9:05.
kept going.
past Karis's bedtime.
Gotta
Yeah.
go to bed.
Yeah, I got to talk to Leo about compositions or composites.
I was like, composition.
You still didn't
Composites.
get that?
No, he said he's working late tonight.
No, your photo. You still didn't get it, or you got it?
I got to show this to you guys.
What did
Oh
you
my
do?
God.
Okay, so this might be a fun offshoot. I don't know if this will air, but
Wait, should we
I don't-
wrap this up? Let's
yeah,
wrap this
I
up.
don't do composites.
We know.
No, let's wrap this up and then talk about
No, we
composites.
talk. I don't know.
Oh.
Anyway, so I do.
Bye, leaving.
I don't normally do composites, right? But this particular
Okay.
client wanted to do composite. I was like, well, what do you want? Just the girls, just the guys. All right, fine. There's like 10 and 10 of them, right?
Oh my goodness.
So this is Gerardo was out with me for this one because you called out. You were sick.
Well, he know how to do them, Gerardo.
I didn't call out. This was Grace.
So anyway, so I don't have.
Grayson when he went to ER. What do you mean I called out?
She was being a single mom.
Your son went to ER.
So I don't care. So
I called out.
You took a day off.
So I don't carry all that shit with me. I don't have like a 24 inch. I don't know how big the softbox is that they use.
You could do it 24.
24, 30.
Yeah.
I don't have any of that. I had a little dome diffuser.
You could do it that too.
Wait, hold on. Wait. So when she said this is what I want, whose images did she show you?
No, she described it as like, I got you, right?
Oh.
So I put the dome diffuser on the 8200. I was like, Gerardo, you know what you got to do, right? So I put it on a.
Gerardo's like, I don't use this shit.
He's like, what the fuck is this shit, right? So I put it on. I do have a monopod, so I put the 8200 with the dome and everything. So he's just like, he's going to each person, right? And I got to show you the picture that we got back. The first one.
I want to hear Gerardo's version of this story because it's so good.
No. Well, so anyway,
Gerardo's probably like, you sure you want to use this?
So
he spent like, I don't know, hours trying
2
to
hours.
edit in Photoshop, right? And he still couldn't get it. He was watching tutorials.
It's so easy.
Yeah, he couldn't get it, right?
No.
And I was like, I was not even talking to him because I knew he was going to ask me.
all right, so the first one came out okay.
So he sent it to Photographers Edit. He still couldn't get it, and he sent
First
it
one
out.
doesn't look too bad. Can you guys see? First one doesn't look too bad. I'll show you.
What's wrong with it?
There's nothing bad. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine.
There's a couple of people that are hot.
Anyway, it's not bad. It's not terrible. Okay. All right, but let me show you what they did with the guys. Hold on,
looks like bare flash.
dude.
Let me see.
Dude, this is so bad, right?
Let me see.
It looks like a magazine cutout, like a serial killer.
Each head.
You can see each head was like
Oh.
cut out with like
I
a pair
have
of
to see it
scissors.
closer.
Oh, it was not the photo you took?
No, it was. But basically, he did head swaps. He took an original image and then he took all the lit
my
faces.
God.
The guy
Basically, he cut them out like with a pair of
Look at
scissors.
this guy.
The guy in the middle.
I was like, I am not delivering that, right? She's crying.
You gotta show Lisa Moses. He'll get a kick
The
out of
guy
it.
in the middle looks like a floating
Yeah,
head.
yeah,
He's just like a ghost.
Abby's like, I'm gonna put this in a gallery now. I'm gonna call Asset right now. Let them know the gallery's ready. I was like, we are not.
No.
Wait. Do not.
Anything was wrong with
Yeah,
it?
she's like, it looks okay. It looks okay to me. I was like, no, it does not look okay, right? We can't deliver that. So Jen's crying.
That's great.
The shadow and everything.
This is a good example of don't promise something to a client
Yeah.
that
Stay in
you've
your
never
lane.
done before.
You need to stay in your lane.
in your
exactly
lane.
what I said. He was
Wait,
suffering
so
in Photoshop. I
what-
was like, why are you even
What do you need help
offering
with? Like, what's
I did the composites properly. It's just that the
the
retouching-
blending?
The blending was this is not blended. This is like a face
Photoshop.
swap
Is each person lit properly?
for the most
I
part.
feel
yeah.
like also like the space is not
Yeah,
calling
the
for a
angle,
composite.
yeah.
like
Yeah.
It's
They're not spread out.
They're not
by
spread
the
out.
Stairs there.
Yeah,
What's gonna
and-
happen? Like there's no
there's no gradient. But you look at the bride's pictures.
there's no
right?
fall off between them and the background.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But you look at the bride's picture. It's not terrible. You got one girl that's really lit, but everyone else is okay
Yeah.
for the most
Well,
You
part.
should, you should
Standing
definitely
forward, too.
burn her down because she's just like
But,
she's brighter than the bride.
Yeah.
Yeah, the man, the girl in the corner. The man, you pose them weird too, and you're closer.
Anyway, I mean, it's not terrible, right? The fall off is a little bit more natural. It's more gradual,
Right?
right?
Well, that's gonna happen if you use a little diffuser this big.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, but this is not acceptable. You know, like there's like it looks like a high school Photoshop class project. You know,
they all look like a bunch of ghosts.
Distorted, man.
look at the guy in the middle.
No, this guy right here,
Yeah, in the middle. Yep.
the guy next to the head.
The long hair guy, right?
No,
Put it for the camera so they can see
so
in the
bad.
episode.
I don't know if I want to share this picture because I don't know if they listen to the podcast or they watch the podcast. It's so
I
bad.
doubt it. It's moral of the story.
Stay in your lane, guys.
Don't do the composites if you don't do
Guys,
composites.
I am not a composite photographer. I am not a light and airy or dark and moody romantic.
But
Wait.
you did show like one or two composites.
but what
in
about
your,
location? Like, is that the only location you had?
Yeah,
to-
that was a bad location too.
It was cold. They didn't want to go outside, and the location we couldn't go anywhere else. There's nowhere else.
I mean, it is what it is. Nothing you can
And
do.
it was a spur of the moment thing. She's like, "Hey Ben, can I get like a Desperate Housewife type of, almost like a Queen Bohemian Rhapsody, just faces and something very dramatic and stuff." I was like, "Okay,"
well,
but
Bohemian Rhapsody, maybe that fits.
80s graphics.
but I was like, "Abby, do not send. Whatever you do, don't send it yet." So anyway, Leo's gonna our good friend Leo is gonna from our earlier episode. Leo's gonna be helping out with that a little bit. He's a good friend of the podcast. And
Save
he's
the
like,
day.
I don't know if he's gonna be like, "Oh man, you fucked up."
He's
big
gonna
time."
look at this and be like, "What the fuck did you do?"
Leo uses a like I think
Big
it's
softbox, right?
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
uses-
it's
I don't,
like-
I don't have all
Like
that
this
shit.
big.
it's
Yeah,
it's I
big.
think it's a 60-inch.
Yeah,
But it's probably a piece of cake for him.
But you can do that with a 24-inch. I do all the time. With
But can you do it
24-inch.
with a dome diffuser?
No, that's terrible. That's terrible.
It's acceptable.
You might as well just use on-camera flash at that point.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. You get away with it, but
Yeah.
it's just not doable.
And there's
Like
a lot of editing you need to do.
what you want is the fall off. So like you need to
Yep.
get really close.
Yeah.
Like with a
You
softbox,
feel
you need
that
to get
vibration?
as close as possible.
All right. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys had a fun time chatting today. I don't know.
I don't even know what we talked about.
Yeah.
We
I
talked
don't,
about a
I don't
lot.
think we talked about nothing.
Yeah, we had some tea we wanted to talk about. We're done though. We're
Yeah,
done.
Karis will kill you.
Yeah, we are done talking.
What's the
We'll
tea?
share that for the next
We'll
one.
save it for next week
Yeah.
We'll save it for
with
next week.
the other Ben.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben Davis, right? Ben Davis is coming.
Yeah.
That should be fun.
So anyway, I think that just about wraps up today's episode. I don't know what we talked about, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys would like to see some more bloopers, some of our highlight reels and all that good stuff, you can follow us on Instagram at focus.af. You guys can also check out our website at focus-af.com. I haven't really updated that.
No,
in
it needs
while.
a
little bit of an
facelift.
update.
We have photos now.
Yeah, we gotta update that place a little bit, and then but we got some. Maybe we'll have some goodie stuff in there. But you can also email us your stories at hello@focus-af.com. We'd love to hear any crazy stories you might want to share with us. If there are any guests that you would like to have us interview on the show, we'd love to see who you got on that list. Here's the catch, though: you cannot nominate yourself. You cannot invite yourself to the podcast. You must nominate someone else. And you can't have your wife or your husband or your spouse nominate you, okay? That's not going to count either.
Why?
No, we can't. We just can't have people inviting themselves to our podcast. That's just weird.
We make the rules.
We have to know you and we have to like you.
They could nominate
and
themselves,
also,
but
you have to. We want people to bring value to the podcast,
Yeah.
to have something to teach and
Yeah, we don't want-
educate.
we don't want too much like self-promotion or anything like that.
We just have to vet
choose,
them.
Yeah, we don't have
Yeah.
to choose you.
But there is a huge pool that you guys have to go through. You know, there's a lot of people on this list.
Huge.
It's not easy to get on this list, y'all. All right, it's a highly
Ears.
exclusive
You gotta
list.
wait years.
it's just like that movie, A Night to Roxbury.
You know? Well, how? Oh, you
To-
gotta
to-
bribe your way in with a.
To get to the club,
Here's one Washington. And
we need
another
some
Washington.
envelopes. Yeah,
What would you say to my friend Washington? Yeah, and his
on
other
the
friend.
list, Doug and Steve Butabi.
Oh Lord.
Anyway, on that note, you guys focused AF?
We are.
I'm hungry.
Yes, let's go.
Good
All
night.
right. Well, yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Adios.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Laters. Focused AF is a fun business-focused podcast for wedding creatives.
Co-hosted by award-winning husband and wife wedding photography teams Ben and Karis.
And Jen and Ro, where we help fellow wedding creatives with their sales and marketing.
With laid-back conversations and real talk with some of our most favorite people in the universe.
And with that being said, are you focused AF?
I am focused AF today.
We are Focused AF.
I think I might be Focused AF.
Welcome to the Focused AF podcast.